Yeah, I mean, I think that I've been really intentional about that throughout the course of the season, just taking everything week by week. And I think that that approach allows me to make sure that I don't get too consumed with like a personal battle or anything like that, but still stay focused on the goal of just being at our best.
What is your relationship like with Coach Butler? He got almost a little emotional talking about you two today and what you mean to this program.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me and Coach Brother have a great relationship. I feel like we have a lot of trust in each other, and I think that that allows me to play with confidence, play with freedom, and I'm really appreciative for him for everything that he's taught me. I think that he's really allowed me to grow as a player in terms of my, ability on the field and as well as my mind on the field. I think he does an amazing job making sure that we are prepared every week. But yeah, all in all, I think that me and him have a great relationship that's built on trust.
How big of a challenge is USC's offense? I mean, obviously you guys have had a pretty strong season as pass defense, but these guys like to air it out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think being in the Big Ten, you're going to go against good competitive teams every week. USC is a talented, very talented team. I think that we are, we are very excited to get the chance to compete with them. But yeah, I think they're a challenge for sure, just like everybody else.
Have you seen them adjust what they do as they've evolved in the Big Ten?
Right. That's definitely something that I've noticed them do. Just evolving their run game. Things like that. They've got a lot of talented players in the run, talented alignment. So I think that's definitely something that they've built upon being in the Big Ten.
Even with it not being about the individual matchups for you, Makai Lemon, what do you remember about your year there with him? I know he played on both sides, maybe just in practice, but and what have you seen from him as he has developed into one of the best receivers in the country?
Yeah, I mean he's a great dude, man. It's awesome getting to see how far he's come, how he's continued to grow as a player. Yeah, he was very talented when he was there with me. When we were teammates. But yeah, I'd say that he's definitely just continued to work at his craft, continue to develop, and he's definitely having a great year so far. So I'm excited to get to compete with him.
Coach Butler and Coach Roll talked about the cultural kind of adjustment from California to Nebraska. What was it about maybe Nebraska at first that was kind of challenging to adjust to, and what's kind of enabled you to make that adjustment?
For me, I would say the thing that was most difficult for me to adjust to is just like the structure. I think that being in California, especially being in LA, you've got the football, but you also have the entirety of Los Angeles around you. And I think that being in LA, we had, a lot more going on outside of football. Being here, though, things are a lot more centralized on football. And I think that being able to make that transition was something I had to be diligent about. And I would attribute that to my teammates and my coaches just, staying on me and encouraging me, even if I did slip up, pushing me in the right direction to fall into, what is, the Husker way and things like that. So I think that that transition over time has been really positive for me.
Is there anything about that black shirt mentality that you guys can lean into a little bit more this week with the blackout and the uniforms?
For sure. I mean, to be honest, I don't think that we have any type of like thought about the uniforms or anything like that. I think it's more so just about how we're attacking practice and how we're attacking the game.
What do you remember about last year's game against USC here? Not just your on-field production, but the emotions you felt before you took the field for that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that last game specifically was definitely kind of like a full circle moment for me, just considering I had transferred there and it was my first time getting to compete against them. The entire week, though, I definitely was very intentional about, just trying to push the team to be ready for a battle, not just, football-wise, but just, the mental battle as well of the game.
Where does your energy come from? I've heard from a lot of teammates saying, energy vampires, you kind of drive the bus on that. Where does that come from for you?
I would just say it just comes from within, just knowing that this is my last year, knowing that, if energy is low, that somebody has to bring it up, and so I think that naturally that's kind of just how I feel. I'm inclined to do that. I still have moments where I'm tired or things like that, but I definitely know that when the lights are on, though, that's when my energy skyrockets for sure.
Have you always been that way, or was there a time in your career where that changed, or someone you modeled that off of?
I think that being out here has made that a thing for me. I think I've always had a lot of energy as a player, but I think that being here for whatever reason, I've allowed myself to try to take the energy that I have in myself and spread it around my teammates.
You talk about how big football is here and how that's kind of different from all the options in California for entertainment. Is there anything else about the state that made you want to embrace it, or the program that made you want to embrace it and become the vocal leader that you are?
Yeah, I think that it makes it easier to embrace because like the way of life here is a little bit slower than being in LA. I think that in LA things are moving really fast, and it's easy for your attention to be on this and then to shift this way. But being here, where your goals are kind of the forefront of your mind all the time, it's easier for you to buy into whatever it is that you want to buy into.
And it's not just that you're a vocal leader. You stay after practice a lot with some of the younger guys. You go into the stadium on Thursdays, text Coach Roll to turn lights on. Just why has that part of it been so important for you?
Right. I mean, we talk about process a lot as a team, and I think that with it, while the team also has to have a process, I think it's important for everybody individual to have their own process. And I know that for me myself, I thrive best when I have a routine. I think that when I'm complacent and I fall out of my routine is when I kind of don't do my best. So I think that I've been trying to be diligent about just being very routine oriented throughout the course of the season. So that's where I'll have like things where I'm coming in on doing certain things on Thursday or whatever. And then like staying after practice. I mean, I just think that, if you make mistakes on Tuesday, if you want to fix them, you don't have to wait until Wednesday to do it. You can just do it right after practice. So I think it's just important to, get that extra work whenever I can.
Think about what it means to be a Husker and how being here and being a leader in this program has made you into the man and the player you are. What is that?
I don't know if I can attribute it to one thing, but I would definitely just say like the way of life here has made me, develop. And I think that the time that I've had with myself has allowed me to kind of just put myself out there as a person. I think that I am somebody that cares about my teammates naturally, but, or cares about, other people naturally, and getting the chance to kind of just have alone time where I can, focus on myself, gives me the energy to want to pour it into other people as well, So I think that, that slower lifestyle has allowed me to really be myself at my best.
You just mentioned not focused on the jerseys, but can you speak to the excitement of playing on national television in such a big game in front of these Husker fans and the environment that you're going to go into?
Yeah, I think it's definitely always exciting to get to go into Memorial Stadium, with all the love that we get. I think it's going to be a very, very high energy game, so that's exciting. But I think that it's very important for us at the end of the day to keep our focus within on what we need to do to execute at the highest level.
Is the colder the better?
Yeah,
Saturday night?
probably. Yeah, I'd say so. Cool. Thank you guys. Have a good one.